What does Kesem mean to you?
Kesem means hope that there's gonna, I don't know, that's bad. Redo that one. That was as soon as I started.
Okay. What does Kesem mean to you?
I know in the Kesem community, we always say Camp Kesem means magic.
It's magic.
More than magic.
It's hope.
Family.
Acceptance.
Kesem means an opportunity to give back.
Hey, when you're around your Kesem friends,
Everyone pours love onto each other and builds each other up.
It's people that will be there whether
you're at camp
or at home.
Nobody left behind.
And then we always get to help people out.
Or spare people learning lessons that I've had to learn the hard way.
To see the impact that it has on all of our kids.
I'd have to say 100% Camp Kesem does mean magic to me.
Good evening. Thank you all for joining us here tonight, and thank you for our counselors for sharing a little bit about what Kesem means to them. My name is Bear.
And my name is Arrow, and together we are the co-directors of Camp Kesem KU. And on behalf of all of our team, we'd like to officially welcome you to Camp Kesem at the University of Kansas's 5th annual Make the Magic. The two of us and our team are so excited to share with you all the Kesem magic here tonight.
In Kesem, we have a tradition of going by camp names. No, our real names are not Bear and Arrow.
Although it would have been pretty cool if our parents did name us that.
For example, my real name is Sarah, but people in Kesem only know me as Bear.
And my real name is Ryan, but I'm better known as Arrow.
These Kesem names allow our campers and our volunteers to be whoever they want to be during our week of camp. Many of our volunteers say that the week of camp brings out the best in them and that their Kesem name serves as a reminder of how great they truly are. If y'all haven't already, we encourage you to make your own Kesem name. If you registered with an event box, there are supplies in there to make a name tag. It looks just like this. And no worries if you haven't, because you can get creative and make one with the materials you have at home.
Hey Bear, it really feels like yesterday that all of us were here together at the Ironwood Lodge. Back then, we were able to see all of our amazing families, donors, and volunteers that came to the event.
Yeah, Arrow, it really does feel like yesterday. Hopefully, even though we all aren't together in one space, we can bring the Kesem magic to all of our attendees here tonight like we did for our campers last year with Kesem at Home, and show what it really means to be a Kesem family.
Speaking of Kesem family, I think we got another video here from our amazing counselors answering the question, how is Kesem family? Roll it.
How is Kesem family?
Kesem is family because... Oh, good. I can't. Sorry. Oh, I'm bad at this.
How is Kesem family?
How's Kesem family?
Kesem is family because everyone is just so welcoming of anyone new who tries to join our community.
To have so many great friends.
There for you.
Is truly love, is true friendship.
People trust each other.
Kind of tight-knit group.
Support you in bad times and good times and any time in between.
One of the biggest things about Camp Kesem is just the culture.
The livelihood.
Even for me, who it's my first time, so
Whenever there's a Kesem event,
anytime I meet someone new, it's like I've known them for years.
Bonds that are made through Kesem.
Create lifelong connections that
No other organization or no other thing would be able to give.
I know I can go to my Kesem family and they'll be at my side no matter what.
man, that question was as loaded as a baked potato from Texas Roadhouse.
What are you?
Oh, there's a lot more where that came from.
Anywho, to give you an insight of what we do at Kesem, we'd like to give you a crash course in Kesem 101.
Kesem is a national organization whose mission is to serve over 5 million children impacted by a parent who has or had cancer. This mission is carried out by a total of 131 chapters spanning across 44 states.
Each chapter is based out of a college or a university and is run totally by college student volunteers. Though we are spread throughout the country and working in different communities, our mission of serving children through and beyond their parents' cancer stays the same.
We support these children through our flagship program, Camp Kesem, a free week-long summer camp for kids ages 6 to 18. We also engage our campers and families through year-round programming, like our Friends and Family Day events. These events act as kind of sort of like a reunion for our returning families and a way to welcome in our new families before they have the opportunity to attend camp. We also provide support networks in the form of birthday cards, frequent check-in calls with the parents and guardians, and individualized support for any family who might be going through a more difficult time. We're proud to say that even though we've had to shift gears quickly, we've still managed to host a virtual camp this past summer and 2 virtual Friends and Family Days since then.
At our chapter, we're proud to celebrate our 6-year anniversary, having built upon the strong foundation laid down for us by our alum. This year, we hope to provide an incredible virtual summer camp experience full of love and support to all of our campers. After this week, the campers leave feeling an incredible sense of family and support because they found themselves surrounded by children who understand them.
Talk to anyone who attends Camp Kesem, and what you'll hear is that it's the best week of the year. Our student leaders work year-round to make sure that every child leaves camp with that feeling. But these children leave with far more than happy memories. They live with higher self-esteem, confidence, and a positive outlook for the future. After seeing this time and time again, we can say that Camp Kesem truly is a life-changing experience for these kids. We are so grateful to all of you for being here tonight, to support what we do at Camp Kesem, and to celebrate what we do here tonight.
We want to voice that this is a challenging time, and we are so grateful to all of you for being here tonight to celebrate Camp Kesem and learn more about what we do. The COVID pandemic disproportionately affects those who are immunocompromised, many of whom are parents or guardians of the children we support. There is no question that this has put extra strain on the families we serve at this time. Camp Kesem will continue to be there for these families. Children dealing with a parent or guardian's cancer deal with so many emotions, ranging from isolation to anxiety to hopelessness. Over the past year, these emotions have been compounded by COVID-19, which resulted in remote learning, increased social isolation, and the additional stress of protecting the safety of family members who have cancer and are immunocompromised. These children need us more than ever.
For the second summer, we'll be converting our in-person camp program to Kesem at Home for our camper families. We are excited about the opportunity to build upon what we learned last summer and to continue to introduce new and innovative ways to keep our Kesem community connected and build a sense of belonging and confidence despite not being able to be in person this year. Kesem will always be here to provide families hope, but our capacity to support all of our wonderful families and campers is dependent on our ability to raise funds for our year-round programming, including a year-round program where we host monthly cabin chats for our campers and Kesem at Home this summer. You'll have an opportunity later to be a part of that support. Without you, we cannot do any of this.
Normally, this would be the point in the night where we would start dismissing tables to go get dinner.
Yeah, although we're not able to offer you all dinner this year and don't have an opportunity to chat with you all or see your beautiful faces, we'd like to introduce you to the auction items for the night.
Yes, as you may have already seen on our site, we have some amazing items available to auction off here tonight.
Our first auction item here tonight is from PRP Wine. PRP Wine is actually offering an at-home wine tasting for our event this year. One thing they pride themselves on is that they've actually been in this business since 1989, and they've been offering at-home wine tastings since the very beginning. This auction item would be perfect for small social gatherings, with some friends to taste some new wines out, or just trying out some new wines at the comfort of your own home. Going about organizing this event is as easy as going on their website, typing in that access code, and picking a date that works best for you. A big thank you to PRP Wine for sponsoring our first auction item here tonight. Our second auction item is brought to you by the Kansas City Chiefs. Our chapter has been fortunate enough to receive a signed football by the team. Bid on this auction item to both support Camp Kesem KU and to have the opportunity to sport a signed football in your living room and make all your friends and family jealous. Our third and final auction item for the night is brought to you by one of our very own advisory board members, Michael Freeman. This auction item is a 3-night stay during ski season or a 5-night stay from April through November at his family condo in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. This location is in the northwest corner of Colorado, just 2.5 hours from Denver. Steamboat Springs is largely known for its reputation as a world-class winter ski destination. This condo details 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a newly renovated kitchen. There is also a workout room, sauna, game room with a ping pong table, and lounge area with a big screen TV located within the premises. What would be better than scoring a family vacation and supporting an organization that is near and dear to your heart?
These auction items, as well as the paddle raises, will...
Wait!
What?
We haven't gotten to that part yet. Fair?
Dane Arrow, chill. You jumped on that like a KU student jumps on a ticket to Allen Fieldhouse. I was just going to tell our audience that they can make bids on auction items up to 48 hours after this event, which will be this Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Sorry, I was just so excited to hear from all our wonderful speakers here tonight.
Oh yeah, speaking of speakers, we're proud to announce our first speaker of the night, Abigail Lane, better known as Sunflower. Sunflower is a sophomore here at KU who will be heading to nursing school next year to pursue her dream of playing a crucial role in our healthcare system. Sunflower provides a unique perspective as she joined Camp Kesem in 2018 at the St. Augustine chapter as a camper, and she's also been a cabin counselor and is currently an outreach coordinator on our executive board. Her main job as an outreach coordinator is to serve as a main point of contact to all of our families, implement our year-round support programs during times of need, and help us recruit new campers across the state of Kansas.
Beyond the dedication she's shown to our campers, Sunflower is one of the most caring voices in our organization. She's someone who always brings everyone back to what we do for our campers and truly embodies the Kesem spirit. Everyone from home, please welcome Sunflower to your living rooms.
Hi friends, and welcome to our first ever Make the Magic virtual edition. My name is Abby, and my camp name is Sunflower. Here at Kesem, I serve as an outreach co-coordinator as well as a counselor. However, before my time as an outreach coordinator, I was a camper at Augustana College in Illinois. Tonight is about family, probably one of the best families a child or student leader can have. A different way to say this is Ohana. And Ohana means family and that nobody should be left behind. But many of us have a different view on family than I do. My definition of family does not only contain people who are blood related. I believe that anyone can be considered family if they have impacted your life in a huge way. To me, that family is Camp Kesem. I started my journey with Kesem a little bit later than most kids. I started when I was a junior in high school. I decided I wanted to go to camp because I thought it would be a good way to get to know kids who were a lot like me, and they also experienced the same things I did. When this was going on, I found out that my sister was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. But not only has my sister struggled with cancer within my life, so did my dad and my grandma. This is not only a rough time for kids, it's a time a kid might feel really alone. When I got to camp on the first day, I did not know anyone, but it seemed like everyone else knew each other from years past. This caused me to isolate myself and feel lonely, but this didn't last too long. Even though the first night was rough and I just wanted to go home, I stayed, and boy, am I glad I did. Within the first week, I started to open up and be who I really was, and then I started to feel a part of the Kesem family. I remember the first night I cried myself to sleep wanting to go home, but the next morning at breakfast, my friend Box and Gemini asked me to sit by them. This caused me to come out of my shell and be more myself, which made me feel so much more welcomed. Not only did I make camper friends, I also got close to my favorite counselor, Otter. And she has been there for me since day one and still is. Throughout the week, I opened up and I had the best week of my life. I remember because we were the older group, we were able to go camping. And when we got there, the girls kind of struggled with the tents and to put them up. So we let the boys figure it out. During the night, we had to go as a group to the bathroom. We had to walk a little bit to get there, but the bathroom was so creepy because it was like a mini house. It even had a pool table, but it was open to the public. We stayed up all that night, getting to know each other and telling stories. Being at camp has brought me so much joy and laughter that I will hold on to for life. When the week was over, it was sad to say goodbye, not knowing if I would be back next year or not. But to this day, I still talk to some really good friends in the new Kesem family I've made. However, little did I know that I was actually going to have 2 Kesem families. When I found out that there was a Camp Kesem at KU, I knew that my time with Kesem was not over. I got so much out of my week at camp, it made me want to help kids who were in the same position as me. This helped me grow into a coordinator role because I understood the camper aspect, but being able to see camp from a counselor and coordinator role makes it all much worth it. Being able to connect with these kids and give them and their families Kesem magic makes me understand how much we mean to them in a rough time. Camp Kesem gives kids voices and magic to be who they are and a stress-free week, and also to be the shoulder to lean on. Camp Kesem at the University of Kansas is one of the closest families you can ever know. I have made so many friendships and memories that will last me a lifetime. Even though I was never able to go to camp in person, I believe we didn't let the pandemic ruin anything, and we found a way to still see each other. No matter where our lives take us, we will always have our Kesem family and Kesem magic. So when I hear the word Ohana, I think of Camp Kesem, where the magic begins and no kid feels alone.
Thank you, Sunflower, for sharing your story with us tonight.
Following along the same trend of the night of camper turned counselor, we are pleased to announce our second speaker, or speakers of the night. The Leslie family has been a part of our CKKU family since the dawn of time. Jessica and Jim, parents of our 2 very own campers, Sully and Scout Jr., have always been strong voices in our Kesem family.
After graduating from high school this past year and going to the University of Central Missouri, where she plays as a forward on the Mules women's soccer team, Sully now serves as one of our amazing counselors. Without further ado, please welcome the Leslie family.
Hi, my name is Jessica Leslie, and along with my husband Jim, daughter Sydney, and son Sean, otherwise known as Sully and Scout Jr., we have been a part of the Kesem KU family since 2017. It's hard to believe it's been that long already. I was diagnosed with stage 3A breast cancer in August of 2015 and spent the next 10 months getting through surgeries and treatments while my 11-year-old and 13-year-olds tried to maintain normal lives at the same time. Sydney was in the 8th grade at the time, and there were times where she really struggled with her new reality and didn't really have anyone she could talk to who could relate until she had a full-on breakdown with one of her school counselors who happened to have a similar experience as a child. When all of this was happening, we didn't know there was a resource like Kesem with our kids. It was probably the beginning of 2017 when one of my cousins mentioned something about Camp Kesem. She had a coworker who had volunteered at a camp somewhere up north and suggested that I look into it for my kids here in the Kansas City area. My initial thought was that the kids probably wouldn't want to be gone for a week at a camp with some people they didn't even know and talk about cancer all week. I drug my feet a bit until one day I decided to look harder at it. I found that the local chapter was nearby out of KU. I told the kids I'd be signing them up, and we just would hope for the best. I still didn't know much about the camp, and I was completely shocked that it was not only free, but for both kids, and that they would be gone for the better part of 7 days. When I signed them up, we were put on a waiting list, and I recall thinking we probably wouldn't get a spot, let alone 2. About a month or 2 later, I received an email saying that both kids were accepted, and there would be an info session soon at KU to learn more about the camp and meet some of the counselors. So we took a drive to Lawrence, had ramen for lunch downtown, and then headed to the campus on a rainy day to walk into the unknown. None of the 4 of us are particularly outgoing upon first meeting, so we were all a little nervous. There were only a few of us as new families, and the kids went off with some of the counselors to play games and get to know each other, while the parents listened to the program coordinators talk about what would come to know and love with Kesem. I was again floored to learn that not only would this be free to the kids, but the kids could keep going year after year. This was incredible. They talked about the different activities they would do, how the counselors interacted with the kids, how they would sort them into Harry Potter houses. Our family loves Harry Potter, and the movies, the books, you name it, so this was really fun to hear. Then it happened. They showed us the prior year's video. I can recall those emotions as if it was just yesterday. In the dark watching this video, I was crying the whole way through it. I was crying because it was amazing, and I knew the kids would love it, and I wished that I could go too. And I was crying because I was having a little pity party for myself, having had to deal with cancer in the first place. But we left that meeting excited and ready to go. Our first drive to camp was a little anxious, as again we weren't quite sure what to expect, but as we rolled up and spotted the first few counselors cheering us on down the road, the fun began. Sydney was cautious, but I think excited, and Sean was still unsure he wanted to be there at all. When we got to the point where they needed to make their name tags, Sydney jumped right in, and while Sean said he didn't want to keep his own name. Sean wanted to keep his own name. That soon changed as we moved the kids into their rooms and Sean met Scout. Scout's gentle demeanor and understanding of Sean's reservations made Sean more comfortable, and that's when Sean decided his camp name would soon be Scout Jr. It was hard to leave them knowing there would be no communicating all week, but we knew they were in good hands and would have a great time. Once we got home, we would anxiously await the photo dump each night so we could see how the kids were doing. We were in for a lot of laughs, and our hearts were happy seeing the smiles on their faces, except we had some confusion all week when it came to Sean. In nearly every photo, he was wearing his camp backpack that he packed all his stuff in. We thought, man, this kid really wants to go home, and expected a call any day asking to go pick him up. When that never happened, we relaxed a little bit. Then Sunday rolled around and we got there for pickup and the family potluck. One of the first things I did was ask someone why Sean was wearing his backpack all week. She told me that he was dared, that he couldn't do it, and sure enough, Sean happily accepted the challenge. Seeing the love the kids had for each other and the counselors while at the potluck was so awesome, and Sydney especially had a hard time saying goodbye. The 2-hour drive home started with tears, but was ultimately filled with a recap of every minute of camp. One of the things the kids really enjoyed doing that week was Shaggy's D&D games. Both the kids really liked learning how to play, and we started thinking of getting a group of kids together to play at our house sometime that summer. When the idea was brought up to Shaggy and some of the other families, the idea grew and grew and ultimately ended up being 25 kids and 14 counselors all playing D&D in our basement one Friday night before school started that fall. Some parents took the opportunity to have a couple of hours off, while others stayed and got to know each other. It was truly a magical evening for us. I really enjoyed getting to talk with some of the counselors and told them how impressed I was with all of them, their commitment to these kids, and their maturity for participating in something so important so early in their lives. It was then when I realized Camp Kesem wasn't just a week of camp and then that's it, but it was an extension of family and would be around as long as we wanted it to be. Since that summer, Sydney went to camp in person the next 2 years and participated online when time allowed last year. Now she is a counselor. Sean went to camp one more year. When we dropped them off at camp in year 2, I had many tears driving home. I was so happy that the kids got to go back to this wonderful camp with the wonderful people, but I was so sad that it all was because of cancer that they had to have this experience. How they got to have this experience. I believe even the hard events in life have a silver lining, and Camp Kesem is most definitely a silver lining for us. Kesem isn't just a camp, it's a place for the kids to engage with other kids that can understand the pain that cancer has caused them in their lives. It's a place filled with love and acceptance and special friends. It's a place for the kids to go just to be kids when some are going through the hardest days of their lives at the same time. Kesem isn't just a thing. When I say the word Kesem, my heart and mind just become happy. As we transition out of being an active family with kids attending camp, we continue to feel the love that Kesem has provided our family. Whether it's with current or former counselors supporting our kids with events like graduation parties and soccer games, or having a teacher at our high school watching out for our kids because of the connection that Kesem has with their kids. The love is always there. Now that Sydney is a counselor, she will get to pay forward the love that she received to kids old and new for years to come. Thank you.
And now for my part of the story. I'm Sydney, known to most as Sully, and Camp Kesem is a huge part of my life. I was in 8th grade when my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. We had tons of friends and family flock to support us, bringing meals and offering help, but I still felt pretty alone. I knew nobody my age was going through what I was, and it was tough because sympathy wasn't what I needed. Little things set me off. At one point, I broke my phone and had a full-on meltdown, and everything became heavy all at once. I met my first friend through all of that day, my counselor. He consoled me, and we talked about what was going on. He went through his own mother's cancer at about the same age as I was, which made me feel so much better about everything. It's crazy how people are dealing with a parent's cancer at that age, but nobody knows about it. Later that year, my mom told us we were going to this camp called Camp Kesem. I was skeptical. To me, it seemed too monitored, too much like hand-holding. When we went to the informational meeting, I met some OG counselors like Stringbean, Hot Dog, Cobbler, and Shaggy. I chose my camp name that night and became more optimistic for camp. I tend to be a bit shy at first, but generally take things in stride once I get going, and that's exactly how camp went. It was one of the best experiences of my life. I met some of my best friends, and I could not stop talking about it. I had never felt comfortable before talking about my mom's cancer, but finally I had a place where I could be among people who were like me. It was truly freeing, and honestly the reason why I'm able to speak about it here today. The strength of my friends through and beyond their hardships inspires me all of the time to bring light to these problems and work towards the solutions. I was pretty bummed last year when camp was announced that it would be online, because I know that I'm not the only one who counts down to camp every year. It was hard as always to say goodbye to some of my best friends and favorite counselors, and especially difficult since it was my last year as a camper, but I knew it wasn't quite over, as I had already decided I wanted to be a counselor for my college years. This year, I've had a great time as a counselor, working towards making sure our campers are constantly loved and supported while getting ready for an epic year of camp. I'm so excited to see what will happen, and even more excited to see my friends again. Giving Tuesday absolutely baffled me by how much money I was able to raise, especially because, as you know, Kesem is free for the kids. I was able to raise enough money to cover more than my 4 years at camp, which was incredibly special to me. I can't wait to keep giving back to the community and see where this continued journey takes me. Kesem really changed me over the last 4 years into a more mature, empathetic, patient, and playful young woman, and I'm truly grateful for everything Kesem has given me. I have learned of a love deeper than blood, a magic more powerful than tradition, and a camp that is the most beloved. Kesem is home. Kesem is family. Kesem is magic. Kesem will always have my heart. So much Kesem love, Soli.
Thank you again to the Leslie family for sharing your story with us. By now, you've heard us talk so much about Kesem magic and what it means to us that you may be getting sick of hearing that word. It's honestly a common thing you hear our volunteers say during training and pre-camp preparation. But after a week-long experience of Camp Kesem, they say there's no other way to describe Camp Kesem other than the word magical.
There's something truly special about getting to see the magic for yourself. We're so excited to share a first-hand account of our online programming, Kesem at Home, and the impact it had on our campers this past summer.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. No one can make me go home, 'cause no one's waiting there for me, and I just can't be alone. Your green eyes on web, shot a hole in my heart. Now I'm falling for the bad one, and I'm seeing stars. I don't wanna go slow. No, I don't wanna go slow. I don't wanna go slow. I don't wanna go. Every time you pull it backwards, I'm just gonna fall in faster. 'Cause I don't wanna go slow.
As you've seen tonight, no camper has to go through this journey alone, nor should they. Now, more than ever, our campers need our support, that one place they can go to be filled with love, support, and friendship.
You'll have the opportunity in just a moment to help us provide that space for our campers. But first, please welcome to your living rooms, Arugula.
Hi everyone, my name is Arugula, and I'm the Make the Magic Coordinator, aka the girl who's been spamming your email this past month. We are so excited to have you all here with us, and we hope you're having a great time so far. Alright, so is everyone ready to make some magic? If you're ready, we'd welcome you to pop a smiley face in the chat. For those that don't know, it's just a colon and an end parentheses. Thank you all so much for participating, and I'd like to invite you now to do something extraordinary for the 5 million children like the families we just heard from. Again, we want to acknowledge the COVID-19 pandemic around us and concerns about health, safety, and the future. And we recognize that many individuals may not be able to donate as generously as they may have in the past. We understand this and appreciate any donation to help us fulfill our mission in supporting families impacted by cancer. Normally, we have paddles for y'all to raise during this part of our programming. Instead of paddles, we welcome you to donate by pressing the donate button. You might see 2 sections for donating on the right side of your screen. The top is where you make a custom donation, and the one below is our funding need levels that I will be going through shortly. So let's start the Kesem magic at $5,000 level. The $5,000 level will provide 5% of our overall chapter fundraising goal for the year. Wow, amazing. Let's keep this going with $2,500 level. This level will provide supplies for our virtual camp, aka Kesem at Home. We feel like now more than ever it is important to connect with our families. We're excited that we'll still be able to provide support and virtual camp to the kiddos this summer. This will be our 2nd annual Kesem at Home, and I had a lot of fun last year meeting new campers. Well, new to me. We got to play this game called Dutch Auction, which is basically where you collect 10 items randomly, and then the host announced a category, and we had to pick one of those items and had to say if it worked or not. Well, you had to make it work no matter what. I may not have won the game, but I still had a lot of fun to connect with our campers. The next level is $1,000. This provides our campers with t-shirts for Kesem at Home. I haven't seen this year's shirt, but I just know that it's gonna be an awesome shirt. I love Kesem gear, and I know our campers do too. It is a great way to remember what happened that year at camp. For me, I look at my shirt that I got my first year at camp, and I remember trying to tie-dye, but realizing we were the last group to tie-dye, and the dye was watered down, and it didn't really work. It also reminds me of my campers that were in my unit that year, and how they started to call me lettuce or salad. I mean, they thought it was funny, and I mean, I get it. Arugula, lettuce. For the $500 level, you will help us provide training to all of our student volunteers. Our volunteers go through extensive training to prepare for camp. While training is very serious, and I learn a lot every year, we do learn a few things before camp that are also important, like our camp songs. Camp is never complete without losing your voice from singing on the top of your lungs. I may have done this for the song This Is Pepe, but for time's sake, I will not recite the song. Next, for $250, This will provide warm welcomes to our families. Whenever a new family joins our family, we give them a warm welcome. Things that are included like this are friendship bracelets, welcome letters, warm and fuzzies, which are notes from counselors to campers to share some of that Kesem love, and other goodies to make sure our campers know that we are so excited to see them at camp. Our next level for the evening is $100. For $100, you can provide Kesem recruitment brochures. Our chapter here at the University of Kansas is the only chapter in the whole state. So it's really important to try and reach all these families across the state so that they know about Kesem and that these brochures can help them join. At this next level of $50, you can assist us with purchasing birthday cards for all of our campers. Our birthday cards have this really cool design on the front that our amazing AMP coordinators make. And they are a bunch of counselors write messages on the inside like, happy birthday. I love signing these birthday cards because I love getting birthday cards personally. I keep majority of the birthday cards I've ever gotten, and I'm a senior in college, so that's a lot of birthdays. I can only hope and imagine that a lot of our campers are the same way, and they keep all the birthday cards that they receive from their Kesem family. This next level of $25 can help send a camper a Kesem at Home kit. Think of this as a personal sponsorship over a single camper for them to go to camp. Our final level for this evening is $10, which will cover the shipping costs for packages that we send to our campers, which we call Boxes of Magic. These are kits we send to our kiddos whenever they receive some tough news about their guardian's health to remind them that their Kesem family is always here for them. We hope these kits can give just a little bit of love during these hard times. We encourage everyone to donate at any of the previous levels or any amount that feels right to you. Every little bit helps, and we are truly thankful for anything you choose to contribute. Again, you can find the link to donate at the top of your screen or right down below. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great evening.
That was absolutely incredible. We are deeply humbled by the generosity and support of the people in this room. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for embracing and spreading the mission of Kesem. Thank you for supporting us financially. As Soli said in her speech, Camp Kesem is home. Thank you for taking us one step closer to reaching our goal and helping to give all of our campers this amazing virtual camp experience this summer.
We'd like to recognize some key supporters of this event and our chapter. First off, we'd like to thank some of our key sponsors. Thank you to
In addition, we would like to thank those who have been constant supporters of our chapter. Without our advisory board members, tonight simply would not have been possible. A big thank you to Jill Clements, Jim Mina, Rob Barker, Becca Zitron, Ryan McNeely, Shannon Gifford, Stephen Lazen, Dana Wingard, Michael Freeman, Alex Hoffman, and Sarah Ross.
We'd like to thank all of our volunteers and speakers for tonight's event. A big thank you to Sunflower and the Leslie family.
Now, we would like to recognize a certain individual who has worked tirelessly to make all of this possible. Navigating throwing on a fundraising event this year has been a beast in itself, and her perseverance, patience, and resilience has really shown in making this event. Without her, tonight simply wouldn't have happened. To our Make the Magic coordinator, Ariel Arugula Beavers, thank you so much.
As we wrap up tonight, we'd like to remind you that donations and bids can be made up until Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And now we have one final thank you. As student leaders for Camp Kesem, we are often thanked for our volunteering, for our commitment, and for the many hours we bring to this incredible cause to create true magic for the children we serve. But tonight, we'd like to thank the people who truly make all this possible, our families and friends. You are the ones who have said yes so many times to us. You are the ones who have our back in every step in this Kesem journey, and truly it's because of you Camp Kesem is able to make such an incredible impact on so many children who have been impacted by a parent's cancer. Each and every one of you, our parents, families, and friends, we are so grateful to you.
Again, we'll be accepting donation and bids on our wonderful auction items until Saturday at 8 p.m. So if you haven't been able to make a donation yet, don't worry. We hope that you've all enjoyed our program here tonight, and to end it all, we'd like to leave you with another iconic video from our counselors, talking about what Kesem means to them. But before that, to all of you, thank you for being friends to the 5 million children in our country impacted by a parent's cancer. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please be safe and have a great rest of your nights.
Signing off, I'm Arrow.
And I'm Bear.
Have a great night, everyone.
Why do you Kesem?
Why do I Kesem?
Alright, why do you Kesem?
I Kesem for my family.
Campers and all our volunteers.
Friendships, laughter, and smiles.
All of our kids.
Because I care.
To do like something good for people who are going through hard times.
And help people through if they need some help.
I'm able to see the impact that Camp Kesem has for all of our kids and how much they love it.
There's just something about making them smile and being goofy with them. It's just amazing.
Kesem, with everything that it stands for, with what it does for the kids, is really important. It's a great resource.
I think a lot of these kids are going through a rough time, and it's something I can relate to. And
it is something that is absolutely necessary.
And there have been a lot of people in my life who have helped me through those rough times, so
Felt like I could help out with this.
our campers are just amazing. They're some of the best kids I've ever met and have ever worked with. If I can be there for them, that's my goal.
I Kesem because I want to be a part of such an amazing organization.
It's amazing. It's amazing because it's near and dear to my heart, so that's why I Kesem.
I will fight for you. I always do until my heart is black and blue. I will stay with you. We'll make it to the other side like lovers do. I'll reach my hands out in the dark and wait for yours to, until I can wait for you. I'll wait for you. 'Cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down on my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not.
That's all, folks.